All right, everybody, PowerStroke Jude coming at you. Once again, let me ask everyone to please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm finally getting back on this truck, man. It's taken a while, but Ford sent me the wrong heads twice and argued with me that they were the wrong ones. I looked up an old TSB, showed it to them. They were reading the TSB, and then the guy tells me, "Oh, you have the wrong head. We got you the wrong head." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, thanks. I'm glad you figured that out, man. Appreciate it." Anyways, never argue with your parts guys. It's not worth it. Just glad I finally got them. Hopefully I can get this customer going. All you really missed was me cleaning the surface, cleaning the block. I used the cleaning disc. um when you're cleaning it, just make sure you don't see too many sparks, or you can use a scraper if you want. All you want to do is get all the old gasket material off, get the new head gasket on. Make sure you replace your dowels on this 6.0. It takes the same style that came off of it. On some of them, there's a step up where it's an 18 millimeter dowel going into the head, but it's a step up into a 20 millimeter dowel for the head gasket. That's not what this one takes. This one takes exactly what came off. So that's pretty good. Always make sure when you put your head gasket on, you put it right side up. Easy way to tell is these numbers right here. If you can read them, you've got to be able to read them. If you're reading them upside down, stamped from the other side, then it's wrong. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure right here where your push rods go, that they line up with the lifters. Once they line up with the lifters, you know you got it right, because they won't all line up if you put that on wrong. I'm not going to show you every last detail going back together, but I will show you talk about what I'm doing and show you what it looks like before and after. That's where I'm at right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this headset and then get ready to get the other headset. I'm using ARP head studs. One thing you want to do is when you're putting the head studs on this side, whether you're using head studs or head bolts that come with the gasket in the head, for this head bolt right here, I don't know if you can see it, I'll put it with the green. For this bottom corner, you're going to want to put the head bolt through the head already in the rocker carrier and support it, so that way the threads are maybe one thread sticking out the bottom, because if you don't, you'll never get it in right here with the cab down. So that's the way you got to play with it to get it to line up. Just be careful you're not scratching your gasket material as you go down. The rest of them you can just pop all right in, and since I'm using head studs, I'm just going to lubricate them. Throw them in, torque them down hand tight. You only torque head studs down, not torquing them, but you only thread them down hand tight. Then you put the head on, and you put the washer and the bolt, the nuts, and that's what you torque down. So instead of stretching the head bolts, you're torquing down on it, and the clamping force is going down. It's a lot better. So that's how we're going to go ahead and do that. For now, I guess that's where I'm going to go ahead and let off. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm back. As you can see, I have the head set. I wish I could have shown you us setting it, but it was only me and my godson today, and he was controlling the hoist, the cherry picker, and I was setting the head. But we got it on with no problems, with no issues. You can see the way the bracket is positioned. You just set that up, you go right on. What I have holding it on right now is two of the head bolts that came with it, and it's just holding it in place until I get it completely on. I'm going to run these 10 millimeters that hold the head as well. So this head's pretty much set. I'm going to rebuild it. I got to put all this stuff back on it before I can torque it down, because the head bolt or the head stud goes through the rocker cage. So anyways, that's in place and that's ready to go. So we're on to the next part of this, and I will show you what it looks like when I get there. All right, stay tuned, guys. I'll be back. All right, guys, and as it gets dark, let me tell you, I got this headset. I had an issue. I had to go back to Ford because I don't know if you can see it, but the black clip right where the pry bar is pointing, right there, those kind of are rocker guides, I guess. They're clips for the rockers, and a couple were broken. I had to go to 2 different Fords to get them, to replace them, to put this on. But the head is now set and on. I used my new torque wrench. It was pretty freaking cool. Couple of tips. When you're torquing with ARP head studs, you're not using 18 millimeter, or you're no longer using 18 millimeter 6-point sockets, because the ARP head stud, the nuts are 12 point. So you get yourself an 18.12. The back one in the corner is extremely difficult. This one right back here, you're not able to use your typical setup. I fortunately have, besides my snap-on torque wrenches, I think I told you guys in my toolbox tour, I showed a Husky torque wrench, and I'm like, man, I don't even know why this is in here. Well, I remembered why. That torque wrench is a 3/8 drive. It goes up to 240 foot-pounds. It's small enough to get that back bolt in the back. In fact, let me show it if I can find it. Help me find it, Xavier. Is it up here still?
I think so.
Yeah, grab it for me. It's right there. This head on this torque wrench, I'm able to get an 18 shallow 12.18 millimeter socket on there, and I can get back there and I'm able to torque it. Unfortunately, I don't know if this thing will focus, but this goes up to, looks like 240 pounds or something like that. So when you torque these heads with the ARP head studs, you use the torque sequence that the dealer tells you, which is, and they have it on a piece of paper, but you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they want the ARP head studs torqued at 210 foot-pounds, and they want you to do that in not all at once. They want you to use 3 sequences. So you do 70 foot-pounds, then 140 foot-pounds, and then 210 foot-pounds. And that'll get the head torqued. Now, the reason I haven't put the front cover on, I can put it on now. That's no big deal. The other side's no problem going on with the front cover on. But the T-stat housing, you can see where the head mounts right here to the block. The T-stat housing sits right about here. Drop my pry bar, but right about here. So the head would have to go in at an angle, tweaked up around. But without that in, you just drop it in, slide it back, put it down. That's no big deal. I already got my glow plugs in and my new glow plug harness, new glow plugs and new glow plug harnesses. I got my valve bridges, my rockers, everything in. When you're putting your push rods in, you want to look, the first 4 you can actually crawl in and look straight down, and you want to make sure that the push rod goes through the hole provided in the head gasket. It's kind of like a guide, so that way it gets onto the lifter. The last 4, you got to use a mirror and a light. It's difficult, but it's doable. I mean, you just got to find the right angle. And once you find the right angle on one of them, keep that angle, and you'll be able to see the other 4, no problem. I don't know what else is there on this that I can tell you. You torque the top of the lifters, they go to 27 foot-pounds. The hold downs for the lifters, same thing with the injectors, they go to, I believe, 27 foot-pounds. These 10 go to 27 foot-pounds, and there's a torque sequence. The ARP head stud shows you the torque sequence. It comes like this, it tells you which way to go. So we got all that torqued down. This is completely ready to, I can throw in the injectors and the valve cover on this side if I wanted to. I mean, it's a little dark. I might just get started early tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's where we stand for today. I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything else. I kind of want to keep going, but it's dark, and you drop something, you lose something. You don't want to drop something. Yeah, it's probably not worth doing this late at night, when it gets this dark, especially when you don't have good lighting. If I had a good under hood light, I had a one, and I took it back last week because it just sucked. I got to get myself a good one, that clamps on all the way across and it lights this thing up like daylight. But that's where we are for now. I hope you enjoy this. Stay tuned for as I put the other side on. I'll show you again, you know, kind of how I'm doing it. This is how the other side looks right now. You know, it's just, as you can see, I've got plenty of space. I mean, I've got the evaporator box out and all that. You know, I've just got to lay the head in, set it down, and once that head is set down, and it's, I keep saying it's smooth sailing, but I've just had problems after problems. I mean, it took them, they got me the cylinder heads wrong twice. You know, I'm glad that they're right now, but twice I got the wrong cylinder heads, and it took them a week to get them those 2 times. Then it took them a week, well, 3 days to get. I got the first set on a Friday, the next set the next Friday, and they were wrong. And then the next set I finally got, and I got on Wednesday. So, anyways, until I see you guys next time, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, ringing the bell. I hope you guys enjoy this, and stay tuned. More to come. PowerStroke Jude, out.